They called her quiet. They called her foreign. They called her insignificant. But what they never realized was that silence is not weakness. Sometimes, silence is preparation. This is the story of a woman who believed she was powerless until the world forced her to discover she was not. Lagos never sleeps. Not the traffic, not the generators, not the shouting. And inside a fatting 2-story house in Seoul, neither did Amara Okafor. She was 24 years old, university graduate, top of her class, and completely trapped. Her stepfather's voice thundered from downstairs. "You think education makes you better than me?" A bottle smashed. Amara didn't flinch. She had mastered stillness. Stillness kept her safe. After her mother died, the house changed. It became a place where dreams were mocked, where ambition was insulted, where silence was survival. Her stepfather hated one thing more than poverty. He hated potential. And Amara had too much of it. That night, when he stumbled toward her door shouting threats, something inside her shifted. Not loudly, not dramatically. Quietly. She packed one small bag. No speech, no tears, no goodbye. She walked into the Lagos night with 17,000 naira in her account and a passport she had almost forgotten she owned. She thought leaving was escape. She didn't know it was rebirth. Seoul was cold. Not just the weather. The city moved fast, spoke faster, judged silently. Amara arrived on a cultural exchange teaching contract that collapsed within months due to funding issues. No job, no family, no backup plan. She applied everywhere. Everywhere rejected her. Until one place didn't. The Black Lotus. An exclusive private dining club in Gangnam. The kind of place where deals were made without signatures. The kind of place where men wore suits that cost more than houses. The kind of place where power did not announce itself. It entered quietly, and everyone felt it. Amara became a waitress. Uniform pressed, head slightly bowed, voice soft. She told herself it was temporary. She didn't realize it was positioning. The night he walked in, the room changed temperature. Conversations stopped mid-sentence. Waiters straightened. Managers rushed. He didn't smile. He didn't greet anyone. He simply walked to his private table, like gravity followed him. Chairman Kang. Officially, CEO of a multinational conglomerate. Unofficially, the man you did not cross in East Asia's underground network. Amara didn't bow deeply enough. Not because she was arrogant. She simply didn't know. His eyes lingered on her half a second longer than necessary. Not offended. Curious. She felt it. And for the first time in months, she felt seen. Powerful people love audiences. That night, a wealthy socialite decided she needed one. She accused Amara of spilling water near her designer purse. It was a lie. But lies are easy when you assume no one will challenge you. The woman stood, accidentally knocking red wine across Amara's white uniform. Laughter rippled through the private room. Amara bent to clean it. She was used to swallowing humiliation. But before she could touch the napkin, a hand caught her wrist. Strong, steady, unquestionable. Chairman Kang. "Did you spill it?" he asked quietly. The room held its breath. Amara could lie, apologize, survive. Instead, she said, "No." Security reviewed the footage. The lie was exposed. The socialite left in disgrace. But something more important happened that night. Chairman Kang did not defend her because he was kind. He defended her because he despised cowardice. And she had not bowed to it. 2 nights later, she was summoned upstairs. Private office, city lights behind glass walls. "You are mispositioned," he told her. Not powerless. Mispositioned. He had read her academic records, her thesis on global trade routes, her multilingual certifications. You are wasting capacity serving wine. He offered her a position, translator, strategic liaison, West African expansion advisor. She should have been excited. Instead, she was afraid. Because stepping into power meant losing excuses. And excuses are comfortable. If I fail, she asked. Then you fail forward, he replied. She accepted. And in that moment, the quiet waitress began disappearing. Boardrooms replaced dining trays. Tailored suits replaced uniforms. Men who once ignored her now waited for her translations before speaking. She studied shipping routes between Busan and Lagos, analyzed port control structures, advised on legal fronts for import-export transitions. She noticed patterns others missed. She asked questions others avoided. And someone began to resent her. Director Park, second in command, loyal to Kang for over a decade. He believed loyalty equaled inheritance. He did not expect evolution. She is a distraction, Park warned privately. She is an advantage, Kang replied. Jealousy is quiet at first. Then it becomes strategy. Late-night parking garage. Footsteps too close. A knife glinting under fluorescent light. Amara fought harder than her attacker expected. But she was still overpowered. Until a gunshot echoed. Security intervened. The attacker fell. Chairman Kang stepped from the shadows. You were followed, he said calmly. Not angry. Assessing. That was the night she understood. Being close to power makes you a target. But it also gives you armor. A Busan syndicate began intercepting shipments. Their leader was reckless but intelligent. He wanted Kang to retaliate emotionally. Amara proposed something unexpected. Let him win publicly. Silence in the war room. Then she explained, feed misinformation, stage a fake high-value shipment, let the rival intercept it, expose him through legal authorities. 3 weeks later, the rival's warehouse was raided. Illegal weapons discovered. Public scandal erupted. No bullets fired by Kang's organization. It was the first time the board realized something. Amara did not think like them. She thought beyond them. A senior security captain was found executed. Message carved on the wall. Look inside. Amara reviewed system logs. Subtle code duplication, authorization tampering. Director Park. When confronted, he snapped. You replaced me with her. Kang's response was ice. She thinks ahead. You think possession equals power. Park reached for a weapon. He didn't get the chance. One gunshot ended a decade of loyalty. Amara didn't flinch. That scared Kang more than anything. Revenge from the Busan rival came swiftly. Black vans, gunfire, chaos. Amara was taken to an abandoned shipyard. Tied to a metal chair. The rival taunted her. You're just leverage. She replied calmly. No, I'm the future you didn't calculate. Explosions shattered the building. Gunfire thundered. Chairman Kang entered through smoke like controlled destruction. The rival leader fell. When Kang cut her restraints, his hands trembled slightly. You could have died. So could you, she said. That was the first time he held her not as an asset, but as something he could not afford to lose. Director Park's final move surfaced months later. Money wired to Lagos. To her stepfather. Information about her. Old wounds reopened. Kang offered to handle it. She refused. This one is mine. Her stepfather was brought to Seoul under false pretenses. When he saw her, dressed in power, guarded by men who once would have intimidated him, he didn't recognize her. You were nothing, he spat. She smiled faintly. I was becoming. She chose not to harm him. Not out of mercy. Out of superiority. Revenge would have proven she was still trapped by him. Walking away proved she was. A high-profile gala, media cameras flashing, political alliances forming. Amara sensed something wrong before anyone else. A waiter moving stiffly, eyes scanning too deliberately. "Down," she shouted. Gunshot. Chaos. Security neutralized the assassin. But the target wasn't just Kang. It was her. The underworld no longer saw her as a weakness. They saw her as succession. And that changed everything. Later that night, tension broke. "You should stop appearing publicly," Kang insisted. "That's fear," she replied. "That's protection. That's attachment." Silence. He had built an empire on emotional discipline. But she had dismantled that wall piece by piece. "You are essential," he admitted quietly. It wasn't romance. It was confession. And it was more powerful. Smaller syndicates formed a coalition. They believed Kang was weakening. Going corporate, softening. Amara proposed something radical. End the criminal framework entirely. Total restructure. Absorb illegal operations into legitimate enterprises. Erase vulnerability. It took sleepless nights. Legal engineering, financial cleansing, strategic sacrifices. When the coalition struck, they found nothing illegal to expose. Authorities targeted them instead. The old underworld collapsed. Kang Holdings emerged untouchable. Respected, legitimate, global. Not feared. Transformed. Spring arrived in Seoul. Cherry blossoms drifted across the Han River. Amara stood on a balcony, overlooking the city she once entered as a stranger. Kang joined her quietly. "I thought I was powerless," she said softly. "In Lagos, in that restaurant, even when you offered opportunity." He waited. She turned toward him. "But power was never something you gave me." A pause. "I chose it." He nodded once. "Yes, you did." She was no longer a girl escaping noise. No longer a waitress absorbing humiliation. No longer a survivor hiding brilliance. She was strategist, architect, partner. Equal. And the world that once overlooked her now moved because of her. She thought she was powerless. She was wrong.